Hey, it's your boy, Killer Cam. This is Anime Parley. We're just laughing and joking and having a good time before you guys got here. We are talking about, obviously, if you read the title, we're talking about Oda. We're talking about Devil Fruits, Diablos de Frutas. And we are talking about cannibalism. And we're going to explain what we mean as we get into it. Like I said, it's your boy, Killer Cam. I'll let the rest of the crew pop in.
What up? It's your boy Wild and Free here.
What up? It's Mugiwara Mike.
Yo, Bash Ketchum.
Hey, there we go. Okay, so what the heck are we talking about? All right, so I was thinking about this the other day. Obviously, if you're reading the manga, you are aware that, we got a recent reference to Big Mom and the Soru Soru no Mi having lingering effects. And it's just kind of got us thinking. And it got us thinking about her devil fruit. And I mean, we still don't even know what happened to Big Mom. Oda probably just doesn't want to write that she's dead somewhere in a ditch or in a volcano. So
R.I.P. Big Mom.
Doesn't want to make Luffy seem like a murderer, even though he probably is.
He definitely is.
She's gonna have her children.
He's definitely killed mad people.
But yeah,
Gonna have her children rocking R.I.P.
I mean, it'd just
Big
be
Mom
nice if we got like a cover story of like, I don't know, Kaido and Big Mom just trapped in a volcano. I think that'd be kind of interesting outside of, Yamato doing whatever she's doing in Wano. And I don't really care about that at all.
Right.
Yeah, so we're talking about devil fruits and the way in which they reincarnate. And we know actually how they reincarnate. And it has been clearly defined to us, particularly within Dressrosa. I'm sorry, not even Dressrosa. My apologies. We actually see it in action in Punk Hazard, right? Where the slime, I think it's actually just the name is slime, but the devil fruit of the axolotl that's combined with the slime somehow, right? Basically gets turned into a giant axolotl, whatever, and it dies, it blows up. And we see its devil fruit reincarnate in a bundle of fruits that are, presumably in the area for whatever reason, right? So we get a clear breakdown of how devil fruits work and operate and how they reincarnate. For whatever reason, they just have like a reset cycle. And when a user dies, they reincarnate in some nearby fruit. And when that happens,
Reincarnated.
Obviously, standard devil fruit stuff, you eat it, you get the powers, whatever, right? Now, there is something to add to that, which is interesting, which is in the flashback of Whole Cake Island, we get to understand Big Mom and why she is the way that she is, which is she was like a big, giant, half giant, whatever, just big child. I think she's supposed to be human, but who knows? But really super big, giant person, right? And as a child, she eats, because she's in Elbaf, because she's supposed to be married to Loki, actually. She eats a devil fruit user that we're all aware of named Mother Carmel. And Mother Carmel was the previous owner of the Soru Soru no Mi. And through eating her, she awakens because she goes into a crazy, kind of hyperstatic state where she just needs to eat, and she eats all the children around her, unfortunately. And including Mother Carmel, who, basically lives on, sort of, not really, through her devil fruit. So what does that mean? It means that unless Big Mom had a fruit, maybe, and I know maybe somebody in the comments is going to say that, like a whole fruit or something stupid like that, because I think that's stupid. I'm just going to say that. That maybe she had an apple in her body or, something like a pear, that after she ate Mother Carmel, the devil fruit reincarnated into maybe the existing fruit that's in her body. And then she ate that because it was already in her body and then got the devil fruit powers. But really what we're talking about is we're talking about cannibalism. And we're talking about that if you eat somebody with a devil fruit, if you swallow them whole, you are able to take their devil fruit. Oda has given the green light on cannibalism in his story. And we're going to talk about it. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? I think that's crazy.
I mean, honestly, my first thought is I'd like to see it again if that's the case.
Oh, you're a sick puppy, dude. You're a sick.
No, I'm just saying,
man.
I mean, we've already seen craziness happen here in One Piece, and this was probably one of the more crazy things we have seen. And perhaps me saying that makes me sound desensitized, and if that is the case, blame it on AOT, right?
That's funny.
But similar themes there, right? And yeah,
blame it on AOT.
Blame it on AOT, I promise you. Ironically, it's very similar, right? In the sense of you eat this human being and you can take on their powers. Spoiler alert for those that don't know. But I think that what Big Mom has done is important because it's distinct from what we might think would happen otherwise, right? Because when you introduce the concept of, okay, when somebody dies, the power of the devil fruit goes into the nearest fruit, right? If there's a human nearby, it doesn't go into the human. Why is that? I am guessing because digestion is part of the process, right? Like it has to be in something to be digested. And I guess Mother Caramel herself was the fruit in which Big Mom digested. Right? So,
okay, I'm gonna push back.
I don't
because if you take a bite of a devil fruit, you immediately get the powers offered.
Yeah, but
we see
that bite of the fruit.
No, but it's not the digestion. It's literally you could just have a bite, and as soon as you
you have to swallow the bite.
Sure, yeah. I mean, of course, you have to have the bite. You swallow it,
consume it.
But the powers are instant, though. We see that specifically where we get to watch people eat devil fruits, and that is Kaku and Sabo. Oh, sorry, Kaku, Khalifa, and Sabo. Specifically, Sabo, when he takes the Miramir no Mi, he takes a bite, immediately has the devil fruit powers. He doesn't need to digest shit. And I'm saying shit because I'm going to bleep it out, but I'm making my point.
You say I'm saying beep, I'm gonna say the beep, and I'm gonna bleep it out.
But I mean, what's not confirmed is though, like it didn't say that there was a fruit inside Madame Carmel.
Well, I don't think I don't believe that. I mean, I think that's dumb. I think that she ate Mother Caramel, right? And for whatever reason, that ended up working, and she got the devil fruit.
I genuinely think it's at least a part of the digestion. And my thing is like Mother Caramel, right, was a human being. And so there's an aspect of sentience associated with her, which is not the same for fruits, right? And so with fruits, I think the entity in and of itself, right, the fruiting body, if you just take a bite out of that, it would suffice. But if Big Mom just ate Caramel's arm, I don't think it would have happened, right? Like, obviously, her sentience stays with the rest of her. And so I think if she were to take pieces of Mother Caramel, right, like just biting her, like, even if she bit her head off,
that'd be crazy
right?
if
Like,
it was the
I'm
brain.
still,
if it was in the brain, and she got to eat
I would
brain.
still be unconvinced. Like, I would maybe think like it had to be the heart or both the heart and the mind together, right?
Yeah.
That actually allowed for that devil fruit to be transferred. And so, yeah, I just think that there is an aspect of, you know, because she consumed Mother Caramel whole, like, yeah, there was nowhere else for that fruit to go in the sense of like, oh, like it's being digested in the way that it normally would had it had been in a fruit.
Okay, I'm going to just be honest for a second, as I always am. Oda did this, even though it is kind of breaking the rules of the series, right? Because he thought it would be an interesting backstory for Big Mom. That's the reason why this is
interesting. It was.
It is interesting, yeah.
He writes the rules.
Do you think that an author can't break their own rules?
I just don't. I think that like the way that was done, it's like it's intentionally saying like they've even taught like it's intentionally saying that you can eat somebody and get a devil fruit.
So you're saying that can be replicated?
Yes,
yeah, I would assume so. Yeah,
yeah. Why not?
But that's why I said I would like to see it again because that would really confirm.
I mean, there's a ton of rules around devil fruits, and like Blackbeard's breaking them. Like there's
but we don't know specifically how he's able to do that, so there's a mystery.
Well, we don't know how Vegapunk is doing it. We don't know how Smiles.
How Vegapunk is doing what?
Vegapunk is like replicating them in blood and like crazy stuff like that. Where green things.
Valid point.
That it's like their blood is the devil fruit. You know, like
they do explain that a little bit because he says that he isolated the lineage factor or whatever it is. With the devil fruit.
These are all rules that
it's kind of crazy to think about because it makes you wonder if our understanding of devil fruits is that they are sea devils that are in these fruits that curse the users. If you make an artificial devil fruit, right? And I don't want to get into smile for a second. Like I just want to talk about like an actual perfected devil fruit like that Vegapunk can make.
Yeah.
Does it have a sea devil? Is he recreating a sea devil? Right? Does it have the standard weaknesses of a devil fruit? Because it really shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like I think Momonosuke should be able to swim if he really wanted to. You get what I'm saying? Like, why would
Who should be able to swim if you ate an artificial devil fruit?
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not a real devil fruit, so it shouldn't have like a sea devil in it that would stop him from, being able to swim.
What are you getting with this sea devil inside of the fruit situation?
Okay, so if you go back and look at Dressrosa, there is a conversation because somebody's talking about like the Merame no Mi, right? Because Luffy goes, I'll eat it, right? And somebody tells him, he's like, you can't eat it because if you have 2 devil fruits, you'll blow up. Yeah. It literally says like the 2 sea devils that are inside of it will fight each other and you'll blow up. We never have seen this because I just think Oda probably
that is totally like metaphorical conversation. Like there's actually not sea devils in these. That's
I don't know if it's metaphorical, but I think it might be
like that's how someone who doesn't understands it.
But I mean, why would Oda write the character explaining, like giving? Because Oda doesn't give exposition that often. Why would he write that in there if like we're not supposed to take that seriously? You know what I mean?
I think that it was intended to be taken seriously as a expression of theology within One Piece, right? Like if you think about how other series might look to superhuman powers or whatever it is, right? Like normally you might see the lay person or those who exist outside of the personal connection with these powers, that they have almost a religious or spiritual expression or perspective on what it might be, right?
That's what I think.
And so I think that what they were trying to express in Dressrosa there was their own theologian, like their theology or interpretation of how devil fruit powers work. And so that might have been their interpretation of the devil fruit powers within.
But regardless of like whatever the explanation is, right? So let's say that, he might say, it's, sea devils fighting and they make the body blow up, right? Vegapunk might say it's a chemical reaction that makes you blow up, whatever. Like, I think the idea that you will die or blow up if you consume more than 1 devil fruit is Oda giving us direct exposition as to why people only have 1 devil fruit. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and specifically why it is so unique that Blackbeard has multiple, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
absolutely.
He hasn't blown up, so
but again, multiple. But clearly that's not supposed to be the standard.
I feel like they did.
No, it's not. But it's
or they're saying that's
broken.
Well, yeah, Blackbeard more than
we're
one
saying
person.
that Blackbeard is weird, and that's like the kind of the mystery of Blackbeard, right? That he is weird. He has a weird constitution to his body. He doesn't sleep. There's something off about Blackbeard that is not human, and that's the reason why he's able to break. And we don't even know the mechanism yet. But he's able to break these rings. I mean, there was the idea that like he's got rings on his hand, and the rings, hold the devil fruit and allow him to access the powers or whatever, right? I don't necessarily buy that theory, but obviously they've talked about the 3-headed Cerberus. So like he's got 3 heads. He'll have dealt like 3 devil fruits or whatever by the end of the series. This is just kind of like basically kind of like canon at this point that like, I mean, it's not basically, it's canon that he's weird and he's unique in a way. But everybody else, I mean, they're not carrying 2 devil fruits unless, it's imbued in like a weapon.
Got like infinity stones like Thanos. Like you can just control.
Well, I mean, the only time you'll see 2 devil fruits is if somebody, probably Shamrock, has a devil fruit and uses a devil fruit in his weapon.
Spoiler for those who haven't read up on the manga. I mean,
there'll be a spoiler.
If y'all are watching this channel, we do manga reviews.
If you don't read the manga,
if you're watching this,
you can go to hell.
Don't tell them that.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's all right. It's all right. We accept our anime only watchers. We love you too.
Yeah, I mean, if you're watching this, despite the spoilers, you're a real one. If you're an anime only watcher, you just got to know, which we respect here.
We spoil something, then after spoiler alert.
Yeah,
right. Put it in the title.
Yeah, well, it'll be in the title. But what, Mr. Waterford, your point?
Yeah. Like what I was gonna say is that with Blackbeard, right? Like I do believe they spoke to it a bit before that moment, right? When he took Whitebeard's devil fruit, or as it was happening, right? We do get an initial, or at least a pre-conversation defining like, hey, you can't have 2 devil fruits. That's just not a thing. Then we get some additional exposition in Dressrosa. But then I think when Vegapunk expressed what he believes devil fruits to be, he kind of gave, ironically, both the scientific definition and like the spiritual, metaphysical, like tangible definition, right? Like he spoke to the lineage factor as to how he was able to replicate it, But then he also spoke about the genuine manifestation of devil fruits, which was the will of the people, right? Like the
desire,
the imagination,
I thought that was
and
kind of
the
stupid.
will of the people. I thought it was brilliant.
No, I mean, the reason I thought it was stupid because I'm like, well,
that's
why
the whole conversation we can have.
Let's just say, okay, all right. So it's the will of the people, right? Because, you know, like he had a whole bunch of speeches and stuff like that, and his speeches were kind of whack, whatever. But like,
what?
The whole speech. No. I mean, you're kind of waiting for like the big lore drops, and he's like, the sea level.
I was waiting for something bigger.
He's like, the sea level's gonna rise like a little bit, dude, like he didn't say anything. It was so many chapters, but like regardless, the reason I thought it was stupid is because I'm like, okay, so you're giving us your explanation. You're the smartest guy in the world. Okay, so we kind of have to take that as like the definitive thing. Fine. The people, for whatever reason, wanted a jacket fruit. Whatever, right? Like literally, right? Like
creativity of the human being mind,
but like whatever, right? The human mind is wanted the Noro no Mi, like just to be able to slow people down or whatever, right? Cool.
Yeah.
But beyond that, let's say that people were able to manifest through their dreams real fruits that allowed you to have those abilities, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Why are they cursed? Why can't you swim? Mm-hmm. Like, why is water?
Well, he explained that.
No, he didn't.
Explained that. Why? He basically said that it was like the earth itself was in contention with, like, it was almost as though like the earth and the sea had their own natural story and progression that they wanted. And a part of that is effectively an aspect of cataclysm, or like there's an aspect of chaos involved in the will of the earth and the sea itself, right? And then the will of the people, right, as contesting and a fight of liberty against that, right? Like is how the devil fruit powers manifested, and almost as a way to spite the humans for that, right? Like they're like, oh, well, we're not going to let you swim. Basically, like that's kind of how he explained it. Like somebody in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm going to go look it up
that
in a little bit.
That was part of that exposition in a way.
It was basically like it was too much for the earth, for Mother Earth or the ocean, and it rejected them.
Yeah.
It rejected their dreams.
It rejected.
They were able to come up with effectively powers through just their aspirations. But you're saying that because of that, like the Earth also is sentient and rejected it? Is that
it was like an abomination, pretty much? Like
that part.
This.
I think the abomination was a part of that.
Yeah. I don't know, but I still think that's a little silly because it's like you end up with
Well, you don't know what it's going to end up being. Like, what if that was all the people that were killed by the government using that crazy magic, and like them coming back is like their only chance to fight in like a dream or something? Like they're using their desire to fight back.
You're saying the people reincarnated as devil fruits?
What?
You're saying that the people reincarnated as devil fruits?
Do you don't remember that huge lore thing where all those people were like going down and then the people were carrying up devil fruits?
Yes, the one that Frankie was standing in front of.
Like, what are you talking about? People going down and people came up carrying devil fruits. What are you talking about?
That was something different though.
The huge painting on the wall.
The mural.
Yeah. Showed
the world mural or whatever.
For the people that were going down that were sacrificing, they were basically like, in my opinion, this is totally headcanon.
Yeah, I was going to say
that was them placing their opportunity to fight later. Through devil fruits, like their desires.
Fascinating.
Each person became like a devil fruit, and
so this is basically My Hero Academia.
It was like a generation thing. That's what I think.
I'm going to pull up that mural.
For you talking.
This is all for one.
Yeah, for all of us to think, why like it's only a nerf.
Oh, those aren't devil fruits, dude. These are not devil fruits.
No, that was the flame.
I know what you're talking about.
You think that was the mother flame?
I'm going to pull it up for you guys. Hold on. This is not a devil fruit. What they're pulling up, that's supposedly supposed to be mother flame, so energy that they're throwing into the Noah. That's not a devil fruit. Like those little things.
Balls of energy.
Yeah, there are no devil fruits on this entire thing.
Yeah, but I really liked where he was going with that headcanon, though. I just really
I was making that up on the spot, just trying to say.
No, I mean,
I'm trying to say that, like, for us to be like, it's just a nerf, or we still don't understand at all what the hell devil fruits were, besides the fact that they weren't always there.
Well, I guess the thing is like if they were actual useful abilities, like all of them were, then yeah. But I mean, but let's just be honest for a second. It's like, okay, if humans have the ability to manifest devil fruits, which again, I don't think it's a very smart thing for Oda to have written into the story, but you know, it's just the point of view of one character. But who would want to be a human? Like unless you're saying that animals are sentient enough to, let me get it out. Unless you're saying that animals are sentient enough to get, I mean, maybe it's a mink. Maybe I'll give you that. But who is creating the Hito Hito no Mi? Who is saying that they're dreaming of being a human other than maybe a fishman or maybe a mink? You get what I'm saying?
Well, you might have just answered your question.
But again, this is headcanon that we're talking about. And then who wants to be the jacket fruit? Who wants to be the jacket fruit?
Someone that wasn't wearing clothes. Someone that was
I wish I could turn into a jacket and then be on somebody.
Someone that was freezing. A beggar on the street freezing was like, oh, I just wish I had a jacket.
You ain't never heard somebody joke like that before? Like, oh, if I could just turn into a jacket right now, that would be amazing.
I mean, it's so common. It's like crazy.
Just turn into a jacket.
I'm going to pull up where we get the explanation of devil fruits because I'm really kind of curious about this.
The reason why I think Vegapunk's explanation was brilliant, and especially Oda's writing of it, was because it was so very meta. Because in the whole explanation, not only did he explain the devil fruits and their origins and how it's connected to the imagination of the people and all of that, but he literally broke the fourth wall by expressing that it feels as though this is coming from an entity outside of this dimension. Like the imagination of someone outside of this dimension. He effectively wrote himself into the story, right? So Dr. Vegapunk basically said, Oda is out there in another universe creating these powers that gives our people the ability to manifest their imaginations as devil fruits.
What's that writing?
That's badass is what it is. Bleep that one out.
That's bad writing.
You got two ends of the spectrum here.
You know?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna keep fighting you. I'll keep talking though. Or just be
Bash, what you thinking, bro?
Whatever.
I mean, it's hard to say. There's just not enough certainty around the devil fruits.
Yes.
So I just think it's cool how like the theology aspect of it, like devil fruits, biblical, eat the fruit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I think even to a degree, I don't even think that Vegapunk's answer is, you know, infallible. Like, I think that even he is theorizing, right?
Sure.
So we may still not know.
Authority on devil fruits, even though he is the most informed authority on devil fruits.
Smartest guy in the world.
I mean, he's pretty smart.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, one, again, we are still green lighting, just to get back to the topic of the video, we aren't green lighting cannibalism, but which I feel like is just weird in the story. I feel like it's out of place. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. But even beyond that, I think the idea of even the whole reincarnation aspect that I think is like kind of poorly thought out. You know what I mean? And I'm not like trying to like take shots at Oda because I hate the guy. Like, obviously I love Oda and I love his work and I love One Piece and all that stuff. But I do think that there are a lot of kind of questions that sparks. So for instance, you know, because of that, I don't know, more or less kind of a instituted aspect of the series, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ended up having reams of speculation in relation to Monet's Yuki no Mi. Oh, it's got to be on the Sunny. Mm-hmm. It's got to be on the Sunny. Carrot's going to eat it because that was the closest fruit. It's her tangerine tree. It's got to be there, right? Maybe it's going to be, you know, you're going to have a snow bunny, which I thought is hilarious.
Can't wait for that to happen.
Theory. Or that Nami's going to eat it because, you know, she's got weather powers. And
that
why
would have been
wouldn't
cool.
she get a Logia? Like, this is so interesting. And you never got it, right? And I just think that, like, Oda gave us that.
I think that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Oda
that would have been insane.
And then it just never...
Like the Straw Hat eating a devil fruit, like, that's got to be a part
I
of
don't
the
think
story.
Come
on.
The devil, like,
we haven't gotten
devil
that.
Fruit,
we needed
the devil
that.
Fruit, I think it would be better, honestly, if similar to Dragon Ball Z, where once you make your 3 wishes, the Dragon Balls scatter again, which, you know, they kind of cheated because they just like had scouters that somehow were able to find the Dragon Balls and they could just find them pretty easily.
Yeah.
But whatever, right? Like, it should just reincarnate somewhere randomly in the world, because it would make more sense if Ace dies, the Mirror no Mi reincarnates somewhere in the world, somebody finds it, and then it just becomes this kind of like black market item. But the problem is that like, it ultimately does, but it makes you wonder. It's like, okay, well, was there not like a food storage kind of thing around Marineford, right? I mean, obviously the whole thing was destroyed. Where would the Mirror no Mi reincarnate? Because Ace just died, and we know that it reincarnates very quickly. It's not delayed. It's like boom.
It's supposed to go to the closest fruit in the vicinity
immediately, right? So that it's
just like, fruits all over the place.
It's like I would rather to have established it as like it's random, not random, but like it's just somewhere in the world that it pops up. Because I feel like also the sense of discovery is more interesting, right? Like someone finding fruit, you know what I mean, rather than like. Because it's supposed to be hard to find. That's another interesting thing. I mean, if you have this system where like they can reincarnate in like a fruit that you're holding in your hand, I mean, it kind of feels like the aspect of like wonder and discovery of people finding these fruits, not knowing what they are, and then eating it, and then effectively just being revealed to them.
How did they say they found that Ace's fruit when they did the whole tournament for it?
They didn't.
It just showed up, and it was the grand prize for this tournament.
Do that? It's like, dude, you had your hands on the Mirror no Mi. Like, why would you auction it off?
If that's a homie or something.
Because they didn't know Luffy was going to show up. That wasn't supposed to like attract Luffy.
Yeah, it just makes it so like anybody could like get it, even enemies of Doflamingo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid.
I mean, hey, he was a little insane in the head. Maybe that was one of his bad choices.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like one of the best fruits.
I just wanted to touch on that.
It's just like a random devil fruit that nobody really knows, and it's a mystery fruit. Because we saw that with CP9.
Yeah, it's very well known.
Spandam was like, hey, we have these two fruits. If you guys really want to level up, go ahead and eat them. Do you know what they are? No. But you're going to find out immediately as soon as you eat them, right?
You're going to find a
giraffe.
The Mirror no Mi, which, you know, just looking at it, it's like, okay, I can kind of guess that this is like a flame fruit. That is a Logia fruit. Like, why wouldn't Doflamingo just give it to one of his crew members? Why even have like this? It's just, that part didn't really make any sense. Like, it's like once you have like a legendary
Logia, man.
Bro, like,
nah,
you know what I mean? I understand.
And you get Sabo coming out of nowhere. The brother.
That's what we needed.
I'm glad you got it.
Like, and this is the reason why it's so dumb. Not the writing is dumb. Obviously, it happens for plot purposes, and I'm glad that Sabo eventually gets it. But in world, Doflamingo decides after finding the Mirror no Mi, or worse, buying the Mirror no Mi from somebody or whatever, however he got it, right? Gets the fruit. Let's say that he's just holding the Coliseum, you know, tournament or whatever, just, you know, basically to like get all of his enemies in one place and kill them or something like that. Obviously, I gotta go back and look at Dressrosa, so that's not what's explained, but whatever. Let's say that there's some kind of motivation behind it that makes sense. It still backfires. Because guess what? You invite all these strong people, they overpower your own people, and then take the fruit, right? And then eat it, and then use it to beat up your own people. Like what? That's crazy.
It is crazy.
It's like, dude, what is happening?
I feel like also the whole, like, I agree with you now that you're talking about it in this way, and we've discussed all this stuff. Like, it being randomly displaced all over the world, like, it leads to, like, even the drive of adventure if you were in the One Piece world. Like, you're like, I'm going out there, and you, like, think about fruits and stuff. But it did, I think, a huge point for it, not the cannibalism, but how it's reincarnated, has really made Blackbeard and his crew like a really scary, freaky crew, because now they're like murderous, like guys running around with fruit baskets on their back, like killing people, just trying to, like, you're like, oh, I have a sick fruit.
Hilarious.
I better watch my back because I'm going to have some freak coming at me trying to kill me.
Right.
And that is scary to me. Like, any fruit can be taken, but I would rather it be randomly displaced all over the world.
Yeah, I agree.
Because that's a story plot for One Piece in itself, being a very, like, adventurous, magical place.
Yeah,
for sure.
Law was so close to getting his fruit taken, man. That could have been bad.
It's so scary.
Excuse me. Yeah, no, but that was like
They're just like,
Man.
Just
My
like,
goodness.
Yeah.
Cutting
How
throats.
strong do you guys think Sabo really is? Like, if he were to go
Oh,
full
he's
unleash,
up there.
who could he
Yeah.
hold his own against? Like, is he fighting
I think he
admirals?
can. Yes, I think he
he's
can
I
hold
think
his own
he's
against Admiral for sure.
Yeah.
Like I
Fighting
think he
admirals,
is
right?
equally
I mean,
as strong
I'm
as
gonna be
someone
real,
like Marco,
like,
who was able to fend
before
off
Yeah.
Sabo
3
even
admirals.
gets
Yeah.
the Mary no Me, he is able to just with hockey.
He was
He
strong
whatever
already,
little
yeah.
He was
dragon
that dude,
fist
yeah.
style that he was using. Like
That
he was
that little
holding his
dragon
own
claw.
Yeah, he was
in the
that dude.
Coliseum like effortlessly
All right,
against. I think he ended up fighting.
all right.
Was it what's the dude's name? The wrestler dude. I forget his name on Blackbeard's crew.
I know who you're talking
Oh
about.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the
it's
strong.
Right?
Dang
Yes.
it.
Like
Jesus
he
Burgess.
Burgess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Burgess.
Burgess.
Yeah.
blow
Yes.
with like just his hands, with just hockey infusion. And I mean, probably we're getting
Yeah.
to reveal that Sabo has Conqueror's hockey. I think he's kind of getting like, which I don't necessarily mind, but I think
That
he's kind of
would
make
getting
sense.
the Kobe treatment.
Yeah.
And we'll get into Kobe on
Yeah.
another discussion topic. But like, obviously, Kobe is like this off-screen Mary Sue darling of Oda that gets all the power-ups.
Anomaly.
Sabo actually
Sabo
deserves it,
can't
though.
take
I don't know why. I just feel
Sabo
like he
can't take
deserves it.
Kobe.
Sabo. Ooh.
No, I mean Kobe.
Sabo can't take Kobe.
Kobe's taking.
Kobe's got
I
Sabo
think-
locked up, dude.
I don't know about that.
Kobe solo.
Let me.
Kobe's
right.
taking.
Yeah, Kobe's
insane.
Kobe
sleeping
ain't
Sabo,
taking
I hate to
bro.
break it to you, bro. Kobe's the
Yeah,
one
That's
who knows the
hilarious.
I agree.
Oh damn. Let me
He's
tell
gonna team Rocket
your
Luffy,
point,
dude.
No way.
to your point, I think Kobe deserves it because we absolutely needed
I mean, that
a
doesn't mean he
marine
deserves it. It just
side
means that you
parallel
need that
to
for the
Luffy,
writing, but I feel
right?
like it could have been
In this
better
journey,
motivated.
right? Well, that's why I said, quote unquote, for sure, it could have been better motivated or articulated and expressed throughout the series, because it was like surprise, he's powerful as all get out. But it was absolutely relevant because, Kobe is basically one of the first characters we see in the entire series outside of Luffy. And to see how far
Correct.
Luffy has come, having that paralleled in Kobe, who is on the marine side of things, I felt was essential to what One Piece is expressing, and also to showcase something important, that Luffy's growth isn't just his own, right? Like, it can be had by those who are truly ambitious. And Kobe absolutely exemplifies that, right? And what he was able to do, I don't know if he would be able to take Sabo as he is now, right? My personal saying. I think that they might be neck and neck, maybe, but I think Sabo would take the edge on that. One, because he has the Logia, right? And not just because of like the hockey and devil fruit conversation. We've had that already, but to the point we were making, right? There's mobility benefits that come from having a Logia, such as the Mera no Mi, right? There's a flexibility and dexterity that Sabo can exercise in a fight against Kobe that would give him that kind of edge in that fight, regardless of how much hockey Kobe might be able to, perform. And as you had just mentioned, Sabo was already a beast with the hockey before he got the Mera no Mi. And I wouldn't be surprised if both Kobe and Sabo had
one thing I'll say
Conqueror's
about
hockey.
Kobe is,
But I just think that Sabo would take it.
I do want to have a longer discussion on Kobe, so I don't want to stay on this too long, but because I really want to get into it. But I do think that like what we've seen of Kobe is his superpower, right? As opposed to Luffy, like Luffy just has like an extremely strong will, right? Like he just, whatever needs to be done, he just somehow rises to the occasion through just sheer force of will. And that obviously inspires the people around him. What Kobe has going for him, at least what I think Oda is trying to kind of build up as far as the perception of Kobe, is he's extremely earnest. Like Kobe, like he shows him do this a lot.
Yes.
I still think he's a Mary Sue. Like, well, I guess technically not, but whatever. Like you see Kobe training after hours all the time, right? The reason I think he's a Mary Sue is just because Zoro trains all the time after hours, and obviously Zoro's strong, but like Zoro's meant to be like exceptionally strong, right? Like he just is that guy. He is him. Whereas Kobe is kind of just some guy that tries really hard and somehow has become him, which I feel like is a little, but whatever. Like Kobe's meant and kind of portrayed in a way
Kobe got that
like,
dog in him now, boy.
he goes the extra mile because he knows that he is weak, right? And because of that, because he has that motivation, because he desperately wants to be stronger, Oda gives him results that are at least, in my opinion, a little outsized. But anyway, so I found the page that I was looking for. I'm going to share it with you guys, where Vegapunk talks about devil fruits. Okay, so I'm just going to read through this. Every devil fruit is a possibility for human evolution that someone desired. If only I could be like this. If only I could be like that. All of those powers represent the many branches of the future of humanity. But that unnatural status is loathed by the sea, the mother of nature, a fitting punishment for its sin. Those with powers exist in different dimensions, dreamed up by someone else before them. This is only my theory. So you see, you don't even need to debate whether any God exists or not. Isn't it just such a fascinating world? So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that was like an interesting explanation. One, I like the caveat that it's a theory, but two, you do kind of get, to you guys' point, the explanation that this kind of world-breaking kind of power, for whatever reason, specifically by the sea, right? Which again kind of implies a certain degree of sentience. So like spirituality, animism, whatever, that the sea has its own spirit, that it will punish people for effectively their dreams and powers. Are we saying that the sea is the devil? You know what I mean? It seems like it's the devil. I don't know. Yeah.
I see. It's just nerfing them. Yeah,
right. No,
hate nasty.
The way that I took it was like I might have just had like a very profound reflection on that breakdown, right? Because the way that I perceived that was that the world, the earth, the sea, the mother of nature itself has its own plan and progress for itself, right? Like we as Earth are part of its inhabitants. We are the Earth's children. And we as humans constantly try to defy the extent of our nature, right? Like we are constantly pushing the bounds of what our physical selves and our natural progression is intended to be by the pace of nature itself, right? Like with the way that we think, with the human technologies and all of the things that we bring into this world, we are constantly trying to defy nature, right? And so with the manifestation of devil fruits, that was very much seen as the ultimate, defiling and defying of nature that humans could have possibly mustered, right? Like this otherworldly, other dimensional power, right? So to the earth itself, it's very much, spoiler alert for those who have not seen, what's that old movie? The Day the Earth Stood Still? I think it was that one. Or spoiler alert for those who, it's a game by Naughty Dog. I'm not going to say the title because just saying it will spoil it. So if you don't play games, spoiler alert. But The Last of Us, right? Or any of those kinds of things, right? Where there is this aspect of Mother Nature being pissed off and wanting to retaliate against humanity in some way. This is something that we have actually seen throughout many stories. And in a way, we can almost say, spoiler alert, that that's also the case for Attack on Titan in certain ways, right? I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I see your point. Valid.
Yo, Cam, speaking on the devil fruit and the mural, do you still have the mural photo?
Let me pull it up.
Oh, yeah, the mural.
What were you going to say?
I know that this was all based off headcanon, and I'm not trying to prove anything. But you started making me think about what this actually was, because I think that this part of the picture is one of the more, like, one of the bigger unknowns of the picture. Um,
Sure. Can you see the
I think so.
cursor,
Yes,
by the way,
we
or
can.
no?
Yes.
yeah. So this area on the right, what do you
So
like?
which part are you talking about?
From my like, I watched many
right?
videos on this. Obviously, we all have
Yeah.
anyone who's seen this. The sun that's on the left is the mother flame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing is holding. The things over here on the right, to me, they're floating in the sky. There's some near the moon. There's some over here on the left. They look like stars almost. They're little fluffy things. I think that these are the unknown. Basically, they're just representations of all of these humans down here on the bottom right who have halos on their heads, above their heads, and they're going underneath into these flames underground, or if that's, I don't think it's water, but I think it's saying like they're going down.
Going down with halos.
And then they're coming out creating these like dreams is what their desires. And it's like a machine.
Yeah.
You know, like these aren't mother flame. Why would they, like, this isn't how the mother flame works.
I think it is.
Let them finish.
I don't know, I mean, here's the thing, right?
Just in my opinion. And then they're flying up into the sky.
Yeah.
Or they're coming down from the sky. I'm just trying to interpret it. But it looks like from the bottom right, they go down. They all are coming up with that thing. And then it starts floating right over there near the building. And it starts going up. And I think that's them like putting those desires. Okay. It's totally headcanon. But
it's that little emu looking thing over there.
Here's what I think.
But I don't think it's super open is what I'm saying. I don't think
like this right here, right? I think it's the ancient city. I think it's ancient city, Goa Kingdom. It's highly technologically advanced, all that stuff, right? Okay, so you have them walking, you know, whatever this is. Let's I don't know if it's a halo, but it's something, right? It's something obviously that Oda intentionally has put in this. So they are leaving the city. They're descending into something, which to me implies like they're taking some kind of resource from
Can you zoom into it?
Bringing it back up. Let me see.
That's okay.
I Control plus.
Yeah, it's okay.
Or Command plus on Mac.
Do this. Okay. All right. There we go.
Nice.
Okay, so you guys can see? Cool. Yeah. All right. So they are leaving the ancient city, right? They are going down. They're coming back up with some kind of resource, right? We don't know what it is, but to me, it seems like this is like a mining process, right? They're descending. They're coming back up. I don't think they're descending necessarily to like go and pick up a dream or something like that. I think they're picking up something out of the earth, personally. They're coming back and they're bringing it to
that emu looking thing.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I don't know if this is meant to be like they are throwing it onto like a ship.
There's like a little boat.
Like they're moving
I see the boat.
They're moving it this
Right,
way,
exactly. It's kind of going.
So let's say that like the way that it's supposed to be read is like, okay, it's right to left, right? So this goes into the boat. The boat kind of looks like the Noah, right? We can assume this is some kind of leader or something like that. I don't know.
I think that's supposed to be
but
Zoe.
It looks like emu to me.
Whoever is sitting on the throne.
We don't know how old the
but
emu
that's
is.
the elephant.
They're very old. What's the elephant?
The elephant in the room?
There. No, what's his Zanisha? Zanisha.
You said this is the elephant. What is the elephant? I'm confused.
Like you see that like little you can't see my cursor, but they're like walking on the back of Zanisha, and that where that king is, there's like a trunk.
Oh, yeah.
You're saying that this whole little shadow is. I don't think that's supposed to be that. I get
it looks like an elephant type thing, but yeah.
I mean, it might not be, but
I mean, it looks like it could be. Yeah, it could be, but I don't know. I just think that like there's things that are in it, so I don't know.
I think
if that
that's
makes sense.
they're also on the bottom of the tree, right there. Those deer on
Like
the
maybe
tree.
it's carrying it or
That
something?
boat's just in front of it. You know, there's a lot of overlapping here over like
for sure.
certain things.
Sure. Okay, so I think we can assume this is a Noah. There are people that are on the Noah.
Probably the Noah, yeah.
This is the Arc Maxim, right? I think this is the Arc Maxim.
shooting lightning out of it.
Like a flying. Well, it's just it's a shooting lightning. It's got, and even maybe it's not the Arc Maxim, maybe it's Uranus, right? Because we haven't seen that yet. So anyways, like this is some kind of advanced technology or whatever. You have like giant, sea kings. I guess I think that's supposed to be a sea king. As far as the moon, we know that people exist on the moon, like the Spaceys, We haven't seen them come down to Earth. Don't know if they're going to enter the story at any time.
I think these are like the rain god, the earth god, the one of the sun gods, you know.
And then as far as this, I mean, obviously this is, I think, supposed to be like the future. I think this is supposed to be like
it's like Luffy, a battle.
Yeah, like Luffy. I mean, I don't think that's supposed to be Laboon, maybe Lunarian.
This is definitely like the previous battle, because that's the sword that is stuck through the tree in Elbaf. And that's Joy Boy with the sword and shield. Like, or not Joy Boy,
but either way, I mean,
Nika.
Not to like get too stuck on like the prophecy aspect of this. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying that this could be like something. It's just, it's a little bit difficult. I think it's meant to be like, obviously extremely ambiguous. Because then you get it over here too, right? I think this is really kind of like just for flavor. Maybe it's just like energies in general, like star energy, right? Maybe it's something in relation to that. And then I think this is supposed to be effectively representative of the dawn, right? Like evil, devil, emu, whatever, holding on to like a representative of like, I don't think it's the mother flame. I think this is supposed to be like a representative of like shape, like the future, right? Like it is holding it hostage, like it's guarding it away from like the people who want to effectively bring on the dawn.
Interesting.
I don't know. That's the way that I took it.
Yeah, it's a fun thing to look at because you can just like
definitely fun to look at.
Go over it and think of all these crazy things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thoughts on devil fruits and stuff like that. Particularly in relation to
cannibalism.
Cannibalism.
Or cannibalism.
I mean, we're not going to see it again. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean,
we don't know that.
Technically possible, which I think is kind of crazy. It's like a little dark for the story, personally.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I mean,
I'm not crazy about it personally.
I mean, I'm not crazy about it either, but I just think that it was a jarring moment for One Piece for sure, and I do think that it added to the menacing nature of Big Mom. Like it truly made her out to be like like, you know what I'm saying, like
a monster.
Oh my goodness! Like,
I mean, I think it's
you are truly a monster. You ate,
but it backfired because it's like you just ate your friends.
And she did black out though. She
blacked out, but she definitely ate human beings.
It's a pass. She blacked out.
I mean, it was unintentional and like
she didn't do it on purpose. Yeah,
she
was a kid. She was like 6 years old.
I think what would have been interesting, and like I think people thought this might happen just because like, you know, we spent so much freaking time with Sanji making this wedding cake or the Krekum bush or whatever. I think everybody thought that like Big Mom might become an ally because there wasn't like a really hard motivation. I remember like, you know, it was like, okay, Luffy, I'm declaring war on you because, you know, you're the head of Fishman Island and now it's mine now, whatever, right? But there really wasn't that much, like, other than kidnapping Sanji, there wasn't really that much to, like, make the Straw Hats hate Big Mom. They really didn't know her like that, had no interaction with her. Obviously, our eyes were set on Kaido since effectively Punk Hazard, right?
Yeah.
And within that, like, I think people thought, like, okay, her issue, specifically exemplified by that flashback, was she can't control her hunger. It does bad things when she's hungry, right? That maybe if she had like the perfect meal and maybe, you know, got that through Sanji and was like, I love your cooking, like just give me more food, that would pacify Big Mom and make her into a reluctant ally, right? And then, I mean, I think Oda just backed out of it at the last second. He's like, nah, she's got to go. Because, you know, if you don't defeat her, she stays as a Yonko. I think
for sure.
Space.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like one thing that still confuses me about Big Mom is like if she really had eating problems her whole life, how'd she have that like hot mom phase when she was on the Rocks Pirates crew? Like that was a completely different Big Mom we were seeing in that era.
Fine.
Like how did that happen?
A cool theory with like Big Mom is actually the mother of Bonnie. I think that would have been interesting, but
that would have been
weird.
That would have been crazy. Yeah,
but weird?
All I'm saying is that maybe she learned some kind of hunger control while she was on the Rocks team.
Like,
because
we introduced her in her arc, right? So
no shaming, by the way.
Where like she's chasing down her own children because like she didn't eat in time, right? Like she ends up I forget the guy's
she was
name.
about to
it's
hurt
like,
with the heat guy.
She ends up taking like her child's like the guy who was like the ice cream head or whatever. She like takes, it looked like she killed him. Like I think they originally wrote it as she killed him because she took all of his life force because he was afraid of her. And then they rewrote it where it's like, okay, he's just old now. Like she just took a lot of years off of his life. But like, we get introduced to her. She is incapable of controlling her hunger, and it's kind of like it causes her family pain. Right? They still love her, but it causes them pain. Like, it seemed like something that we would solve, but I feel like Oda just kind of like, nah,
she's got some Brothers Grimm fairy tale type of esque to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's some just like a little bit weird and dark stuff going on in her little like fairy tale world with all the homies and all the candy and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, I'm gonna eat my kids and like feed five fo fun.
Right. In that way, the cannibalism never truly left her. You know, where it's like, you know, since that hunger can kind of take over at any point. But the reason why I think it's still relevant is because of what we just recently saw in 1125, or sorry, not 1125. The latest chapter release, where we see the shield with Big Mom, you know, the homie.
Yeah.
That callback to her, right? And being in the Giants territory and all of that stuff, it just gives me a small bit of hope. Like, I don't know if I should call it hope. That's dark as all get out.
This is so alive, or this will be in the story again?
Nah, that we might see cannibalism happen when we're done.
It's kind of funny. Like, speaking of like the allyship thing,
crazy.
I mean, we kind of get that teased in Wano. We're like, you know, they have those stupid, you know, amnesia memory.
Oh yeah, when the amnesia.
Like, Oda seemed like he kind of like wanted to play in that space a little bit.
Yeah,
we get her as an ally, and then he just immediately rips the rug out from under us. But it seemed like he was like I don't think that we are off in the sense of solving Big Mom's problem, because I mean, even I would have liked to seen in Wano her have like a hunger issue or something like that. I think that would have been interesting, but we don't get that. But it seemed like Oda was maybe kind of teeing up that like the satisfaction of her hunger, specifically through Sanji, would do something to her character and make her a little bit more sympathetic. But we just never got that.
Would have been nice.
Tease of it again in Wano, where it's like, you know, she's like a friend to what's the little girl's name? The one who like makes the dango. Tama, thank you. Where she's like Tama's like auntie basically.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
That was adorable, actually. That was like nice to see her in that way.
Yeah, it was. It was cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool to actually see. You know, to your point, the repercussions of Big Mom being an ally. It makes me think of something from Reincarnated as a Slime, but that's just like a whole nother side.
Shout out.
Well, it'd just be nice to see it.
Shout out Reincarnated.
Yeah, it'd just be nice to see it like almost like Hunter x Hunter-esque, where it's like, did we really need Kaido and Big Mom to like either be killed or removed from the story? Can they just retire as Yonko, right? Like, can that not be a thing? Like it.
Yeah,
it would have been nice to see them be in the story still, but just they're like 60 years old. Like, they're not even that interested in getting into One Piece. Like, they don't really have a clear motivation. It would have been nice to see like maybe them reformed in some way. It would be very I don't know. Let's say I don't know, subverted, like a subverted kind of expectation. Yeah. I don't think would have been nice.
I mean, we might still get it. Who knows? We ain't seen the tombstones.
Yeah. I don't know. What are you guys' final thoughts? I know we're kind of running on time, but any final thoughts?
That's it. Yeah. My final thoughts is I'm not a fan of cannibalism.
Yeah, you are.
I love
not
it.
either.
Mr. Waterfree eats people in his spare time. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if no other thoughts, then that's it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Anime Parlay. It's your boy Killer Cam.
Smash
Peace and blessings, y'all. Wild and free.
You are Mike. Later.
Okay. All right. Peace.
Peace.